Hello everyone, today I'm here to do a book review for you. Today I am talking about Still Me by Jojo Moyes. If you are unfamiliar with Still Me, this is the third book in the Me Before You series, so I'm going to talk about this book. I will try not to spoil it as much as I can, but I feel like since it's the third book, there's so much not spoiling I can do, but either way, I will let you know. Also, again, my voice is horrible. Sorry, I keep saying I'm sick. I cannot shake this sickness. I'm on the second week of it. It just will not seem to go, so sorry my voice is clearly not its usual self. It's the third book. So the first book is Me Before You, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about. It was very, very popular a few years ago. A movie came out and everything, and it also has a lot of controversy behind it. The second book is After You, and this is the third one. So let's get into my thoughts about Still Me. I do have book reviews for both of these books. I will link them up here. Bottom line is I enjoyed Me Before You. I really enjoyed it. Yes, there is a lot of controversy with the disabled representation. I do see the problems with it, and I understand them, but I still enjoyed it. The second book, however, I did not like at all. I don't think it needed to be written. I didn't like the progress I didn't like the plot that it took. I just didn't know why we needed to have a second book. And then the third book, I still don't know why we needed a third book, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than After You, but I still didn't enjoy it as much as Me Before You. If you're not familiar with Me Before You, it is about our main character, Louisa Clark, who is trying to find a job, and she finds a job being like a caretaker for a guy named Will who is wheelchair bound after an accident. And basically they form a relationship and things happen, and it deals with a lot more heavier topics. I'd say it's a really cute book, but also has a lot of serious undertones. So basically that is what Me Before You is about. After You takes place the events of Me Before You. Can't tell you it because I've been spoiling for you. Before I get into like spoiler warnings, I did enjoy this book. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5, which I think is really good. I always honestly enjoy reading about Louisa. Louisa is just such a breath of fresh air. She's witty, she's very quirky, she's adorable, she's a really good character. She has goodness down to the core of her. You see her make these decisions a lot, and she could really profit sometimes in decisions with doing the wrong thing, but she doesn't do that because that's not who she is. So I love reading about Louisa. Now, like I said, I don't know if this third book needed to be written, but I was gonna read it anyway because I just love the character of Louisa Clark so much. I would just read anything with her in it because she's just so adorable, honestly. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the overall plot. I didn't love the ending as much, which is why it didn't get a higher rating for me, honestly, but I like the journey Louisa took in this book, and I really enjoyed just seeing her character kind of alone in a new environment, and it just her. I like that a lot. If you weren't a fan of After You, which I know is a very split book, a lot of people really enjoy After You and a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it. I'd say if you don't like it, I think you would like Still Me. And if you did like After You, I still think you would like Still Me. I just thought it was good. I thought it was a good book. Overall, like, I don't think it necessarily needed to be written, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. Do I think the series needed to continue on anymore? No. I think we are finally done with Louisa's chapter, which I know it's hard for me to say because I say I'll read anything with Louisa in it, but I feel like at a certain point you have to like kind of close the book on a character and like just kind of, you know, let your imagination take, you know, what you think of when the character is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping this is going to be the last of the series. I don't know, we'll have to see. Either way, like I said, I gave it a 3.75. So, if you have not read any of these two books behind me, please do not watch any further. And if you have read those two books and still haven't read this, you are still safe to watch. I will let you know when I talk about spoilers, particularly with this book. I know it's weird. I just want to make sure no one gets like spoiled accidentally. So, yeah, if you haven't read these two books, do not watch any further. In this book, Louisa goes to America. Nathan, I'm sure a lot of you guys remember in Me Before You, he gets her a job in America, and she starts to work for this family called the Gopniks in New York. So she moves to New York, obviously by the Empire State Building, and she becomes like Agnes's assistant. And Louisa, you know, moves literally out of the country to get this job behind her boyfriend, Ambulance Sam, and she starts a new journey in New York. And that's what this whole book is about, is her getting this new job, you know, her trying to do long distance with her boyfriend and things like that. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I liked reading about America, but seeing America in a British's person's point of view. Like, she's never been in New York, and New York's a different world in itself, honestly, especially if you go into like really bustling New York. I enjoyed watching the dynamics of the Gopnik family. Gopniks is a very interesting family. Agnes is actually the second wife of the husband, so you know, she's having to deal with these high society events, with these women that don't like her because she's the second wife. And Agnes is also, I want to say she's from Poland, and so she's very unfamiliar with the high society. She doesn't like it. She seems a lot to deal with a lot of anxiety and things like that, which I wish would delve more into, but she's a very interesting character. You start out reading about Agnes, you know, the person that Louisa is working for, and you think of her as one way, but as the novel progresses, you're seeing that she is not who she is so clearly saying that she is. And it really talks about New York and high society and the people that work for them, how they're just kind of invisible and how they don't have a life because their lives kind of center around their employers. So I enjoyed this book. I liked Louisa's, you know, job, and I liked how she had a career shift in the middle of this book as well. And at the ending, she kind of was on her own, and I enjoyed that a ton. I can't say anything else more without spoiling this actual book, but I'd say if you're a fan of Louisa Clark and just find her downright adorable, read this book. I love Louisa Clark. I think you'll love her even more in this book. She was just so sunshiny and happy and just a really good person to read about. As far as the relationship goes with her and Sam, I didn't love them together, and After You, I felt like it happened a little bit too fast. And in this book, I was still kind of on the fence about like them being together. I didn't know if they were like meant to be. I didn't know if they were just melded well right. I still ultimately like the relationship, but I just don't love it. Like, you know, I think we're always going to picture Will, but obviously Will is not there anymore. So I don't know. I like Sam, but I don't like love Sam, but I could see a future for them, if that makes any sense. So I also love that there was a long distance romance and that you didn't see Sam as much. So it kind of really focused on Louisa alone and her learning who she is, learning how to be in a different country, and learning how to be, you know, kind of not in a relationship. Because we've seen Louisa a lot in a relationship. And yes, she's in a relationship in this book, but she's alone a lot of it during it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to spoil this book at all. All I'm going to say is I didn't really enjoy the ending a lot in this book. I really wish it was different. I just wanted to go a different turn. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I definitely think it redeemed itself after You, and I am glad I read it. I'm glad I read Louisa Clark. I love her. I loved all the new side characters in this book. Oh my gosh. Especially her new boss at the tail end of the book. Oh, I loved that. I love that so much. I loved who Louisa found her career at the very end. That was the ending I really enjoyed as part of like the ending. But overall, like I said, I gave this book a 3.75. I would recommend if you like kind of self-discovery stories about coming to New York and seeing everything, you know, from the really rich and expensive side, and just about Louisa Clark in general. If you have read this book, please let me know your thoughts and opinions. I would love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.